Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I just got back from picking up my Azure standard for this month and it is a million degrees outside, so I'm not going to do a full haul video this month. I have already taken my frozen items out there to the freezers. But what I took out there was some more of the Thousand Hills burger patties, because we love those quick meals. We eat them at least once a week. I took some Thousand Hills burger or beef sausage links. I just bought 2 packages of those, small packages, so I could try them, because I don't think I've ever bought their breakfast links. A case of frozen strawberries, organic strawberries, because I'm going to be making Mr. Smith a batch of strawberry jalapeno jam. I have not made it in several years. And a case of frozen mixed vegetables. So that's what I took out there today. So it is time to restock my cleaning supplies again. 3 more bottles of the Azure Standard Citrus Fragrance dish soap, which is my favorite. I grabbed another bottle of the citrus laundry detergent. I just love the citrus fragrance, y'all. And I had bought one last month. It was a jug of lemon verbena, and it's nice, but the citrus is my favorite. And I was afraid that they were not discontinuing this, so I was glad to see it back, and I was glad to see the citrus fragrance had returned. So I went ahead and bought a jug of that one, because I just opened up my lemon verbena. So I am absolutely exhausted. I just got back last night from my trip to Fort Campbell, Kentucky / Clarksville, Tennessee. My son is stationed at Fort Campbell, but he does not live on Fort Campbell. He lives out in the city off post, and had a wonderful visit with the grandbaby. Did a little bit of antiquing with my daughter-in-law. My son, one of the days we were there, he cooked, he did some smoked chicken on the grill. It was wonderful. He said it was the best chicken he has ever had in his life, so he was going to be making that again. He smoked the chicken, but then he used my shortcut barbecue sauce. Okay, so we've got red cherries. I love it when they have their I call these Bing cherries, but they're red cherries on sale. I love to snack on these. It's the only cherries that I like. I cannot stand maraschino cherries. I don't like anything that is cherry flavored. I love to eat these fresh though, but this is a pretty big container. So I'm going to save out the ones that I'm going to eat fresh, and I think I will probably pit and split all of the rest in half and throw them in my freeze dryer and use those for other things down the road. Time to restock my my diced bell peppers. I love to keep diced bell peppers, you know, pre-diced and everything in my freezer, in my little freezer containers. And I just used my last container from the last time I stocked up. So we are going to be dicing these up and freezing these in portions. And these are the little freezer containers that I use. Each one of these hold on average, 2 diced bell peppers. Now I've been using these things for years. All right. Had to change out the battery on the camera. It was flashing red at me. All right, so the last thing in that big box is this bottle of freeze-dried black walnut supplement. And the reason that I got this is one of the go-to supplements, herbs, for doing a parasite cleanse. And I know that is not the kind of thing people like to talk about, but I have never done one. And I have been hearing a lot about them. I've been reading a lot about them, and I think, you know, I ought to do one. And I know that black walnut is one of the things that are the go-to supplements for parasite cleanses. There's other things as well, but I know that this is one of them. And so I went ahead and I got a bottle of this. Now I'm not going to be doing the cleanse yet. I'm going to do a little bit more homework before I do that. But I went ahead and ordered this while I was putting in my order for Azure Standard so that I would have it so that when I am ready to do the cleanse, I'd have it on hand. Okay, we've got another box here. I ordered some organic lemons because I have a couple of recipes I've been wanting to do, and I really needed lemon zest for them and lemon juice for them. And so even though I'm not going to make them quite yet, I will go ahead and juice these lemons so that I have the fresh juice. I will zest the lemons and save the zest, and that way I have what I need for the recipes when it is time for me to make them. All right, and then the last box that I have here is some dairy that I was restocking. You may remember a while back where I had ordered great big bricks of cheese, and I talked about how I like to order it in the big bricks like this. And then I will portion it out. Normally I'll take one of these big bricks and I'll cut it into about 5 pieces, since these are around 5 pounds. This one is 5.09 pounds. I usually portion them in 1 pound little bricks. I wrap them very tightly in freezer paper, and then I put them all in a freezer bag, Ziploc bag. But the last time I restocked on my cheese like this, I only put aside 1 or 2 bricks, 1 pound bricks, and then I shredded all of the rest of it, and I put it in a container in my freezer so that I had pre-shredded cheese anytime I needed it. And that worked so well, because most of the time when I am using cheese in a recipe, it is almost always shredded. So by pre-shredding it, it worked beautifully. And so I'm going to be doing that again this time around. And then I also got 3 rounds, each a ½ pound, of some organic provolone. This one was raw milk, white cheddar, grass-fed organic, and all of that. And then this is some of the provolone. They didn't have bricks, big bricks of the provolone, so I don't know if they carry those. I didn't see them anywhere on the website, so I just got 3 of the ½ pound little baby rounds of them, because I don't use provolone very often, but I do like to have it from time to time, especially if I do something like steak sandwiches. I love provolone on those. All right, so I'm going to finish putting these things away, and then I'm going to go change my clothes into one of my work dresses, and we're going to head out to the garden. Because right now I've got this blouse on, and I've got a pair of blue jeans on, and like I said, y'all, it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, and we need some airflow. I'm always nervous when I go on trips during garden season, because I am the gardener of the family. Mr. Smith is not a gardener. And I'm always nervous about what I'm going to come home to. Did things survive? Did he water as well as I do? You feel like you're leaving a baby behind when you leave your garden for a few days. So, like I said, I'm going to finish putting these away, go change, and we'll head on down and see how it went. Alright, y'all, here we are out at the garden, kind of checking things out. The echinacea is starting to kind of die back a little bit. I think I need to cut back some of these heads to try and encourage a little bit more, see if we can get some more out of it. Same with the butterfly bush there. I've got, let's see, this is one of those single head sunflowers that's kind of reached its end, so we'll have to cut that out here before too long. Let's see. Oh, I see you, bee, hiding there under that stem. You're trying to stay shaded. Oh no, you're digging in the blossom. Thank you. I appreciate you pollinating that pepper plant. All right, so up here on this trellis, we've got the painted lady beans, and you can see a lot of them are starting to dry back or dry up. And I really didn't do anything with these this year because this was all the seeds I had, and so I'm basically just making seed stock. Oh, hello there, stink bug. Saving these pods, letting them dry completely, and then saving the seeds inside them for future gardens. You know, if you've got a spot to do it, that's something that you can do when you are low on seed. Just plant a few and allow your stock to get replenished. All right, this trellis here is the Chinese noodle beans. We're going to do a little bit of a impromptu garden tour here with this video today. I don't see any beans yet, but I do see, it looks like the beginning of the blossoms starting. So that means we'll start seeing some beans before too long. Let's see, checking out these tomato plants. This is one of the beds that was really struggling. I've already pulled out a couple of the tomato plants. As you can see, the tops of these plants are looking pretty good, and hopefully the color's not completely blown out. Midday is kind of the wrong time of day to be doing a garden tour. It's too much light, it just blows out all the color and makes it hard to see. But you can see I have not done any pruning really since the last time I did a garden tour, that working garden tour. That's the last time I did any pruning. I've not been here. Seeing lots of bumblebees all over, which is always good. All bees. All bees are welcome in the garden. Let's see, over there I see some ripened tomatoes. This tomato plant is toast. So we'll pull the tomatoes off of there. Just kind of doing a little bit of a walkthrough first. I see some blush back there on a couple of tomatoes. My beautiful giant sunflowers. I think that one's an autumn queen right there. The one that has multi-heads. And if you can make it out, there's 2 bumblebees and a couple other itty-bitty little bees on that same flower head right there. Wonderful sight. Wonderful. My beautiful Mazurkia zinnias. Let me turn down the light a little bit. Maybe that'll help reduce some of the color blowout. I love these Mazurkias. They're so pretty. The Tulsi basil, medicinal basil. It's also called holy basil. Has gone crazy over here. This is that one pineapple sage plant that I had out here in the spring. You can see how big it gets. It provides beautiful crimson red blossoms at the very end of summer. Kind of like the last feeding for the pollinators. I've got a dahlia sticking out over here, seeking the sun underneath this gigantic pineapple sage there. Some more zinnias down there in the walkway. That's a volunteer zinnia from last year. I just let it be. As you can see, the asparagus has gone to seed. Some of the basil here. This one is the cardinal basil. This is the one that makes those really neat red flowers. Got some Genovese basil in there that is going to seed. You know, I generally don't pick all the blossoms on all the basil plants. You know, I'll pick a lot of them, but then some of them I'll just let go. I'll let go to flower for the pollinators. And y'all, this watermelon, it's planted over there at the bottom of those two sunflowers. And it is going out down there past the, it looks like well, it is. It's past the sweet potato vine that's in that little cage, past this bed. It's going up over there. It's coming over here. It's coming over here. And I've got a vine all the way over here reaching into this walkway. So we've got vines absolutely everywhere. This is that goji berry bush. You're not too dry, but you're definitely dry. I need to water all of my tubs and buckets. I'll look here after a while. I'm not going to spend too much time out here right now because it's very hot. I'll come out here later after chores and do some garden work, and I'll look for some watermelons, see if I can find any. This is pretty dry. I need to water these real good. Turmeric, ginger, sweet potato, which is a hot mess. Oh my goodness, gigantic zucchini. Yeah, that'll be probably, I might give that one to the chickens. Oh, there's an even bigger one over there. Holy moly. Can y'all see that? I think that one will go to the chickens. And this one I'll probably shred this one up and freeze it for some zucchini bread. Oh, here we got another zucchini. There's another one. That one's kind of perfect right there. This is that compost bed this year. It's the bed that I'm not really doing anything with other than throwing in kitchen scraps all summer long. And that gigantic thing right there is a healthy, thriving zucchini plant that my granddaughter planted. She was out here helping me garden. And I actually see a zucchini down there. So, very nice. Look how well that plant is doing. It's humongous. It's bigger than all of my intentional zucchini plants over there. These are actually ones that I had a container that got forgotten out here in the sun, and I thought they were dead, and I just threw them in here to compost them, but some of them actually survived. Oh, looky there. Check that out. If you can see that, it is coxcomb flower. I have never grown these before. Very interesting flower, if you can see that. All right, this bed is looking pretty good. A lot of stuff's looking a little dry. We need some water. All of the sunflowers are gigantic and beautiful. Here is my biggest sugar baby watermelon right here. This will probably be the first one that I pick. I need to look up how big these things get and how to tell if a watermelon's ripe. Because what usually happens is they end up splitting on me, and then I have to pick them whether I want to or not. So we got one there, there's one over there, there's a couple more back in there on the other side, and we've got another one right down there. This right here is one of my pepper plants. Oh, I have one here that fell over. I'll need to tie this one up. This is one of my poblano / ancho chili pepper plants. And, oh, look, hopefully you can see those. We've got a bunch of peppers on this one. Oh, I can see a couple on this one too. There's one over there, there's one there. Oh, I see red. Looky here, we've got some cayenne peppers. If you can make that out. Again, I apologize for the lighting. We've got some red cayenne peppers. So they are, a couple of these are ready to pick. Like that one right there. Look at that. First pepper of the year. Let's check out this tomato tunnel here. I can already tell this plant is toast. Yeah, this one looks like it got cooked while I was gone. There is a bunch of tomatoes on here though. We'll go ahead and pick these, and I'll probably just pull this tomato plant because it's in bad shape. This one looks good. This one's looking rough. I think this is the one Mr. Smith said a couple of these were completely laid over like they were dead, even up above the trellis, which you can see all the way up there. And it's looking kind of crunchy up there too. So I don't know if this one will make it. I'll trim back a bunch of the yellow and we'll just see what happens. But we'll go ahead and harvest all the ripe tomatoes. Got some more. Yeah, we've got some tomato plants definitely looking a little rough here. But we'll do some watering, we'll do some pruning, we'll do some fertilizing, and we'll see what can bounce back up. Ooh, I've got a whole bunch of jalapenos over there to pick. Can you see all those? Oh my goodness. Lots of jalapenos. Let's see what we got over here. I see some more jalapenos. Oh, look at this one. That is a Brazilian starfish pepper. A little bitty one should be. So those ones are starting to grow. There's some more jalapenos. I've got, oh man. I've got jalapenos for days. I think I'll have enough to make some strawberry jalapeno jam and maybe some jalapeno jelly. I haven't made that in a long time either. Lots of jalapenos. So over here, this is a Rose of Sharon bush. I planted this, well, I had some actually down at the road along my driveway back in Alabama, and these make just the most beautiful flowers. They look like a hibiscus flower. They may actually even be related, but I planted this the first year, and it didn't really do anything last year. Actually, I originally planted two. One of them didn't make it, but this one is thriving, and I can see it is making flower buds the first time. So that is lovely. I look forward to seeing this flower. Just, you know, something else that just brings in the pollinators. I've said that over and over again. I love making the pollinators happy in my garden. I make them happy and they help me out. So we've got a pumpkin plant over here climbing up the trellis on the outside. It's looking a little rough down at the bottom. I didn't think it was going to make it. But let's see. One, looks like we've got two of them up here going crazy. So that's going to be a challenge if we get pumpkins growing. That'll be a challenge to be able to support those. But oh dear, we have one falling down here. We'll have to fix that. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and start pruning and put this camera up for the time being, and I will join you back later.